Good morning, Spurs fans. Another absolutely awful performance. It's getting hard to continue to watch this. I'm going to keep this one short. The players let us down, and Ange let us down. Again, there were, I think, of kind of the players on the field, I think Solanke was by far the clear above everyone else. You could see his effort level. Bit unfortunate that he couldn't show a little more quality in that last minute kind of stoppage time chance and steal some points. But again, Spurs were the worst team and deserved to lose this game. And again, it's frustrating because we can't seem to get the motivation right for these lower rated teams in the league. Again, it's just a repeat of the Palace game. Again, Sonny he wasn't being a captain. He was awful. Romero was defend and Dragusin were poor in defense. I thought Udogi had moments of being really good, but Porro was just awful. Everything into the goalkeeper's hands. Again, there was a lack of intensity and a lack of quality. And at this point, I think we're seeing a lot of the same issues. It's pervasive. We have some injuries, but there's no excuse for the players that we have available and the performance that we're seeing. The big kind of elephant in the room. Again, I think I've moved back to Ange out. Again, we were seeing he was starting to incorporate some of the youth players, which was a positive, but again, we're still seeing that he is utterly clueless in game management. And again, he's had a decent amount of time and he's making the same mistakes over and over again. I think it's clear he's not at the level of a coach we need at this point. Again, after again, he put out what I thought was a reasonable team selection, but the mentality wasn't there. Again, you don't always want to make changes before halftime, but at halftime, he puts out the exact same team. You see a little bit of a bump for about 5 minutes, but then they go back into the same patterns, not threatening, being lethargic. And again, that's where Ange fails. He waits way too long to make any changes. Again, when he's being let down by players, he's the only one who can take them off the field. Again, for certain players, it was clear that they were not going to get their act together and play better. They weren't going to play through it. You needed to take them off and play some of those youngsters. Again, if you're Bergvall or Gray or even Madison watching that, how do you have any motivation when you're seeing players out there not putting in an effort and Ange just letting it slide? It's absolutely frustrating. And again, that's where Ange is failing us as a coach. He doesn't recognize the same pattern game after game, and he just lets it happen. He's too passive. Again, I think he got beat partially by kind of the manager on manager battle. And again, it's okay sometimes to get the player selection wrong or to get the player selection right and for the players not to do their job. But at the same time, as the manager, if you're watching that, you cannot sit there and just let it happen. You have to change something and at least try. And we're not seeing that enough with Ange. He waits far too long to get on players, to make an impact, to take off the players that were absolutely hurting us. Again, Spence is sitting there on the bench while Porro's put in almost every single cross into the goalkeeper's arms. Sonny was having a howler today, Johnson was off the pace, and they're still on the field. Again, they're killing the potential attacks where we might be able to get back in this game. Again, we definitely need some changes in some players, but Ange out. He cannot be our coach past this season. They need to start looking for a more competent manager who can manage the in-game level, because I think the Prem is one step too far for Ange. And come on, you Spurs.